Vibrant, phenomenal. It's part of the whole gamut of things that comes with being in the limelight. So I feel like I'm okay with it. I also feel that they're here to do their job. They're getting their bread and butter depends on who they click on what date. Charming, charismatic and fun. I have nothing against it. I hear people complaining, I'm not going to name anything, but I was reading for a part and testing for a part, and I did like 4 or 5 readings, and then, we kind of got along with the whole team, and I fit the part and everything was right, and then suddenly I get a call that it's not happening, and I'm like, oh really, but what happened? Because everything went fine, the readings were fine. There are such serious movies being made, not that I have anything against them, but I feel like there's so much going on in our lives lately, there's so much stress. I feel like a good comedy is what your soul needs. So you want to go watch this it's a clean film also. So I feel like this is a film that you go watch with your family and have a good laugh and come back home and sleep peacefully. You have to be politically correct at most times. So I think over the 15 years that I've been here, I've learned to be politically correct a tad bit, yet I have times where I find myself. Thank you for having me.
How are you doing?
Very well, super excited. The release is around the corner. So
yes,
all pumped up. It is a male-dominated society. They try to look for when a woman makes a mistake. There is a lot of responsibility because there are a lot of people who look up to you for everything you say, and they look at a role model in you. They want to get inspired. They feel that our profession is aspirational. So I feel like at somewhere we need to be careful with what we say. You try to with every film, because I feel like if there is a certain amount of comfort, forget chemistry, if there's a certain amount of comfort, both of you are at ease, and then you can talk about, acha, let's do this, can we do this, and there's give and take, and there's a certain amount of connect, and you can talk about how to do a scene, because I feel a lot of it on paper there is something written, and then when you translate it finally to screen, there has to be that little extra magic which you call. So I feel that will only come in if there's a certain amount of comfort. So I feel like we always try that, we have that with our co-actor. So performance oriented. It's a simple comedy, which is, you've got to be effortless, and that's one thing that I know. I'm not a very trained doing all the drama schools like he's done apparently. So for me, being effortless is the key, and I feel when I do comedies, I get to be myself. Of course, the idea of, there is a lot of, Nawaz being a fab actor, Nawaz being an institution, there are these things that you've been hearing. Of course, his performances are again something that I have been looking up to forever, but definitely very easy to get along with. So I feel like I didn't really have to try much with him, because we met, we did a reading, we went on set, and it was this inherent sense of comfort, I think, which 2 actors can have or cannot have, and there's no way to bring that about, I feel. It's either there or it's not there. So I felt like we appreciated each other's space, we respected each other's space, come back and all. I'm like, where have I gone? It's constantly a struggle to do films here. That's been a process. Some people have it easier. They're like, oh, he's a fab actor or she's a fab actor. I think that's been a constant struggle with me. Even though I've heard from my fans, my supporters, and some so-called critics that I'm not so bad. So I didn't get them when I wasn't on social media as well. This is the moment, and you have to be with the times. When I started, I was like, I don't know if I can do Twitter, Facebook, and then Instagram came, and then I don't know how many other things came. But I felt like if I'm not going to keep up, I'm trying. It's not super. You have n number of films being cast for. Sometimes you don't even know when they're cast for. Sometimes you know they're cast for. You can audition for suppose there are 5 films being cast for, and you can audition for those 5, but then you might not end up getting all 5. You might just end up getting 1. And it's not like there are 100 decent scripts that come my way. If there are 5 decent scripts that come my way, I have to pick out of them, and then sometimes I want to be part of it, sometimes they don't want me to be part of it. So for everything to work out, if the options are very little, there's a lot of pressure on everybody right now with theatricals especially. So Aafate was not a theatrical, but it was still a feature film, and we did put in a lot of effort and passion into it. So I feel like if the markets change, if you guys, help us to bring our films to the people, to the audiences, and they go back to the theatres and watch our films, I think there'll be more work for everybody. I have nothing to complain because I have immense gratitude for whatever work is coming. Am I happy? No, I think you need to grow, you need to want more from life, and there's a lot that I need to do because I feel when it comes to challenging roles or roles where when they say meet, I still have the hunger for those. So I'm still hoping with the... So when I was auditioning for a part where you looked de-glam and you looked sand makeup and tan myself, I did all of that in the beginning, but I don't see that working. So I feel like you rather do things that you feel comfortable doing and which is your element. And I feel like an actor needs to translate on screen. A director has to have a vision. You can look like whatever in your real life, but on screen you need to look like that character. And there's a lot of work that goes into it, whether it's changing your hair, whether it's changing your look, whether it's gaining weight, whether it's losing weight. A lot of it goes on to making a particular character. So I feel like my Instagram or my personal life shouldn't be the benchmark of how I should be on camera, or I hope rather. I feel eventually people are going to realize that being part of a movie or a show, it requires a certain amount of talent and it requires a certain amount of, I'm not going to name anything, but I was reading for a part and testing for a part, and I did like 4 or 5 readings, and then we kind of got along with the whole team and I fit the part and everything was right, and then suddenly I get a call that it's not happening, and I'm like, oh really, but what happened, because everything went fine, the readings were fine. I'm hearing things,
But it's so baffling.
I think right now the producers or the makers are feeling like maybe they have that fan base, so they'll pull the crowd to the theatres. We still need to figure this out. We're also discovering this. Let's see if they can actually pull the crowd to the theatre. There was a time when I used to read comments in general, whether it be my post or be it a PAP page and whatever, just to understand what people actually, because I need to understand the pulse of the audience, what they like to see, what they don't like to see. So for me, it was important up till a point where I'm like, okay guys, it's just being hateful and just being mean for no reason. And as they say, you gotta have thick skin when you come to the industry. I try to do that, but after a point, if it's you're being targeted and you're being cornered and they make you feel a certain way, which it just spirals into more negative. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, it's up to you, and the kind of energy you're putting out, that comes back to you. So I feel like if people who are putting all this negative energy out there, all that negative is going to come back to you at some point. So I want to keep myself away from it. It's part of the whole gamut of things that comes with being in the limelight. So I feel like I'm okay with it. I also feel that they're here to do their job. They're getting their bread and butter depends on who they click on what date. Certain amount of celebrities, maybe Shah Rukh Khan's gonna come out at this hour. So they have to wait all day to, click that particular celebrity. Right. So I feel that also is a lot of hard work, okay? And for me personally, I feel it's a very important aspect, and I feel people celebrate two sisters, especially because I feel both of us are in the same line of work. I think it's great, and I feel that family support somehow is the most important thing because it keeps you grounded. It keeps you reassured that, there is someone there for you, whether your film is a success or a failure, whether you understand what's going on and not be like, oh, I can't do this. When the cell phones came out, we were like, oh, why should I take my cell phone everywhere? You've got a landline at home. But now everyone lives with a cell phone. You just turn around and everyone has a cell phone. So I think it's important to be with the times, whether you like it or you don't. And I feel like that's one thing we celebrate because we can chat about it. We can bitch about nothing angers me anymore. I'm sorry, because from day one there have been rumors. it's going to fade because today they're talking about it, tomorrow they'll forget about it. I think that's somewhere a training that you go through when you come into the industry. Someday when I'm not motivated, she can push me to go to the gym. I think there are phases, and I feel like having this journey with her is obviously so much better than if I was a woman alone in the city trying to make her way to success. It wouldn't have been this comforting. Let's say the word comforting, because I feel at least I have that. And I feel like women who come alone to the city, I don't see them. My first one, Shahrukh and Bobby, weirdly so Ram Jane, because I'm like that. Those Varun in some film, which was again very cool, and Ranveer in Savarya. So I think it's, and when Ranveer did that, I think I have phases with films. Sanjay Dutt in that Raining, that Phenomenal. There are some amazing filmmakers. There's Shankar in the South, who's amazing, and I had auditioned for a film which Vikramaditya Motwane was doing, but that film never got made. But I really think he's amazing, and at some point I would love to do a film with him. R. Balki is doing some amazing things. I mean, I'm sick and tired of saying Mani Ratnam because I've still not met him. Misconception. You should tell me what they think about me, because I feel like I project an image and I'm selling what I am, and I think people are buying it unless they have another image of me. Charismatic and fun. Vibrant. Charming. I always say to that is why not, because I feel, there are such serious movies being made. Not that I have anything against them, but I feel like there's so much going on in our lives lately, there's so much stress. I feel like a good comedy is what your soul needs. So you want to go watch this it's a clean film also. So I feel like this is a film that you go watch with your family and have a good laugh and come back home and sleep peacefully. Hi, this is Neha Sharma and you're watching me on News 18 Showtime. So I feel 26th of May is the film. I would request everybody to take out those 2 hours and go watch this happy film and feel a little better with everything that's happening around us.